everyone, it's Joe. Welcome back to another ramble. It is September 15th at 8:14 p.m. EST. And let's get right into it. I'm sitting on my bed. Bunny, Sharky, Severs, all sitting right next to me. Sharky asked to be nearby in case he has anything fun to contribute to the ramble. Currently he's got nothing, but he's sitting quite literally right in front of the phone. So, should anything come to mind, I will be the first person to bring it to everybody's attention. Anyway. Jesus, I just started and I'm already yawning. Alright, so since last night's ramble, I was saying nothing too crazy has happened. Like, nothing after getting off the ramble, but, like, still yesterday. So everything will be stuff that has been thought of or happened today. So I got up today at, I was up really early. Earlier than I typically am on a Monday or a Wednesday or a Friday. I was up at 8:45 or 9, which reminds me I have to go to bed early tonight. And so I got up, I got dressed, and then I wrote my note sheet for my computer logic midterm that is tomorrow, and I did some light studying for my science quiz that is also tomorrow, which reminds me I need to study some more of the slides. Again, I've already looked them over, but I need to do it again. I'll tell you what, sedimentary rocks, not my vibe right now. The other ones were easier to understand. This one is, at least the intricacies or whatever, the little details are confusing me a little bit. So then I... Jesus, Christ. So the plan was to watch an episode of The Walking Dead, and then play Dead by Daylight this morning before class. What it turned into was watch the episode of The Walking Dead, and then, I played these two little indie games. Well, okay, I played and finished the first one, and then I played the other one a little bit later. I played these two little indie games I found called Blood Money and the Human Expenditure Program, or the Human Expendable Program, I think. Both by the same developer, and they were really interesting. So I am going to discuss those momentarily after I finish the rest of the events of today and discuss some not fun stuff, so we can end it up on an interesting, exciting, I played a game note kind of thing. So I partially finished one of them. I went to class. And I don't know why, whenever I'm in probability class, I always have, moments of, deep depression and dread. He's sitting there telling me, or he's standing there telling us about how to calculate the probability of something. And I'm just like, man, I want to cause harm to myself so bad right now. I don't understand why it's so bad in my probability class. It's so bad. I don't understand. And then, that stuff, devolves. It starts with that, and then it's just, other things I could do, and, it's a good thing my bestie's not around, because she would hate me for doing that, or it's, I only had one... This is true. I only had one, actual meal today. She'd be not the happiest camper about that. I don't know. Well, why? Okay, better question. Not why does the feeling of mega dread show up when I'm learning about math. Why specifically do I miss my bestie the most when I'm sitting in math class? Maybe not the most, because I feel like I miss her the most when I'm just vibing here by myself. And then, my brain gets to thinking, and it's guess what? You're by yourself, and your friend is MIA. I don't know. I still really hope she gets to hear these. But, as I've said over and over and over and over again, I have no way to confirm. So, it's more or less just a hope thing. Which, 9 times out of 10, I don't believe in hope. So, you know, um, dang it, why am I yawning all the time when I do these? So anyway, went to math class, had my moment of extreme dread for some reason, came back here. Oh, before I went to class, I had a snack. I had those orange cheese crackers with cheese in between them. So that was like food one of today. And then I came back here, and I finished the first of the two games, and then I started and finished the second one. I got all the endings, and then I had food items 2 and 3 today, which were gummy worms and spicy goldfish. Like I said, a very interesting diet. My bestie would, I can tell you right now, she'd be like, "That's not real food. You need to eat real food." And I'd go, "Yeah, I know." And then I'd probably be like, "But it's fine, because I'm going to eat dinner in like 2 hours." And she'd be like, 2 hours? That's so long. You need to eat real food like now. I swear that's a positive thing. I love that she did that. Maybe I'm not a good friend for loving when she get all panicked about my eating situation, but I love that she like cared that much. And I would make a comment and be like, you don't miss it till it's gone. No. That would make it sound like I didn't care to begin with. No. I have always loved that. I don't know. It's just a little stuff like that. Like the, it's just a little stuff like that like it made me like it made me realize that like she is my best friend, and like still is. Like I don't care. Like I don't care how long it has to. I don't care how long we have to be apart, even if it's forever. Please God, don't let it be that long. Like I don't care. It's like the little stuff like that. Like the day she woke up early because she knew that I had to get up early and she wanted to tell me good morning, or the Jesus, why am I blanking now? Or like the thing with my food, or like she would remind me to hydrate. I hate drinking water, but tell you what, I love that she cared that much. I don't know. I know. I always get really depressive and I get really upset and I like get really worried that like we aren't gonna be besties whenever we get to talk again. Whenever that is, but like I don't know. She is the best, and that will never change. Which is unfortunate for anybody that tries to be my friend before that. Not that that'll happen, so that's fine, because I know that won't happen. But I don't know. she's great. She still is. Which reminds, I was gonna say which reminds me of something, and then I immediately forgot where I was going. So actually, that's not. Yeah, but she's awesome. She's the best. She still is. Which is part of the reason why I hope she still gets to hear these, because then she gets to hear me talk about how awesome she is on occasion, and to hear me say that I miss her like all the time. Anyway, so yeah, I had goldfish and gummy worms. And I watched one of my 5 quantum computing lectures. I went and got dinner at the hangar. Came back here. I had the burger with like an egg and mozzarella sticks. I know, very crazy. It's not like I have that like every week, at least once. As I came back here, finished the other 4 lectures, and then I took a quiz for the class. I got an 85, 83. I think it was 80. I don't know. First digit was an 8. That's all that matters. And then also, my science class, like group chat, we're trying to like discuss when we should get together and study, which I am dreading. And I was like, and they were like, yeah, how about tomorrow or Wednesday? Well, tomorrow I've got my midterm. And I was like, I could do tomorrow depending on the time, but Wednesday would work better. And then the guy was like, yeah, because our exam is Thursday. I'm like, what do you mean it's Tuesday? Like next Tuesday. And he's like, oh, I don't know. We'll talk about it tomorrow. I'm like, oh, great. So I have that to look forward to, I guess. And then I did my quiz, did my lectures. I got signed up for my science test. I got my test signed up next Tuesday. Like I'm ready to take it with my accommodations. And then I know after I get off of this, I'm going to play Dead by Daylight, because it's been like a day, I think, since I've last played it. I want to play some killer matches for once. Oh, I don't think I told you guys. Wait, no. Okay, no, I briefly told you. No, I basically said what I did with my friends last night. Like I mentioned, we played Phasma and we played the god-awful drawing game. They bullied me because I couldn't figure out how to draw and I was severely overwhelmed. And they were like, Joe, your drawing is so bad and you need to like be better about not being overwhelmed. And why do you sound like you're having a stroke? You know, that's another reason I miss my bestie, because if I told her that stuff, she'd be ready to go to war for me. She'd be like, I'm going to kill them. You know, not saying that's a good thing, murder and all that. But, you know, just the fact that she was always ready to have my back. I'm talking like she's dead. She better not be dead. Please don't be dead. Anywho's here. So, yeah, you know. Dread covered, activities covered. My day's basically been covered, minus the stuff that has yet to happen yet. Like I'm gonna play DVD. I was in the middle of a Walking Dead episode earlier. I'm gonna finish that. I planned to finish that a little bit ago before starting this, but I got distracted because I'm listening to the most recent episode of the Trash Chase podcast, and I'm just invested. I think I'm like 10, 15 minutes away from the end though, so we're getting there. But now I think now that I think I've like covered everything, I'm gonna talk about the games I played. So one is they're same developer. They are in the same like universe. They're connected. They release free like short little indie games. I think the first one, if you just got like if you're going for the good ending, it'd take a bit longer. But like I got the bad ending within like 30 minutes. It was just like 1 of 3 endings. There was bad, there was normal, and there was good. And normal and bad can like literally happen like at the same spot. Like so, it takes roughly 30 minutes to get to each, unless you're super fast, or you do what I do and install an auto clicker because the game is a clicker, and the good ending takes like 8 years. So the game is called Blood Money, and it's about this person who has to get an operation done on them, and it's like $25,000. So they're driving and they see this stand, and there's this dude at the stand named Harvey Harvington, and there's a sign, and it's like 1 click equals $1, and he's like, yeah, if you click me you get $1. So you click him and you get $1, and then like so you're like, oh well, naturally gotta get the 25,000. So you're clicking him, and then when you get to, I think it's 100, you unlock item number 1, and it's a feather. So you buy it, and you click him, and he mentions that like it tickles, and like now your money goes from 1 per click to 2 per click, and so you click him a bunch, and I think you get to like 500, and then you get a needle, and so you click him, and he starts commenting on the fact that kind of hurts, but you're doing great, but that kind of hurts. And your money goes from 2 per click to like 4 per click, I think. And he makes comments that like you're the player, and like he acknowledges that like he knows he's within a video game or whatever. And so then it gets a little disturbing, little graphic. Next is like a hammer, and he's like, I can't believe you. He talks about how much pain he's in. And then next is like scissors, and he loses an eye, and it's just like the money doubles every time. So you go from 4 to 8 to 16. And like the entire time he talks about how bad it hurts. And like legit, like I felt very uncomfortable. And then I think after scissors, it's a match. Once again, he's like, why are you doing this? This is horrible. So then like second to last item is a knife. Depending on, well, no, not even depending on, because if you don't complete the event, you die and game over. But like he loses like an arm. And so then by this point, when you get to 20,000, you either keep going and get to 25,000 with the knife, and you unlock the normal ending, which is you get enough money, you buy your operation, but then he like takes you to court because he's missing an arm and an eyeball, and he like looks completely unrecognizable. And then the bad ending is if you at 20,000 you can buy a gun, and you can just straight up kill him, and you get like infinite money. But it's just the bad end. You're like, oh, I got the operation, but you didn't really do that for the operation. You did it because you're greedy and horrible and a monster. But the good ending, you have to use either no item, the feather, or the needle, and you get all the way up to 25,000. So that's either 1 per click, 2 per click, or 4 per click. So I downloaded an auto clicker, and got to the good end, which is just you have the money, and then you go through operation, and Harvey is not very injured, and blood is not in your hands. You feel good, blah blah blah. So I know it sounded like deceptively simple, and I just kind of blew through it. But like I don't know, I just thought it was a really neat concept that like he was acknowledging, like what you were doing, and that you weren't doing something good. And then he like you see just like what you're doing to him. I thought it was like really, I thought it was a really neat concept. And then the sequel that just came out like 2 or 3 days ago, the Human Expendable Program, I think. So basically, you are like Harvey mentioned in the first game that he has a wife and son. So the sequel comes out, and you are the wife, and you have uploaded Harvey into a simulation, and you have to like, he's a fun meter and a food meter, so you have to buy food and buy play games with him to keep the meters up, and then you go to bed, and then it's revealed when you go to bed that he goes to sleep, he gets put into the blood money protocol. Like she's like, yeah, players are downloading her game Blood Money, and then they're getting she's getting like $25,000 in like cryptocurrency. And so, it gets revealed and connected that, okay, so in the first game, you were a player of her game that she is putting him through in this simulation. And so then, it gets revealed that, like, every night she resets him so he doesn't remember any of the pain and injuries he goes through from people playing the game. And eventually the reset button breaks. So then he retains his memories and the pain, and he basically loses his mind and ends up like destroying literally everything. And like I said, it's kind of dark and not happy and great. It's just a really interesting concept, in my opinion. And it was free, and it was like, I don't know, it was a fun way to spend a few hours. So yeah, Blood Money and the Human Expenditure program, the Human Expendable Program or something. I don't know. They were neat. I don't know. It's just fun finding little games like that sometimes. Just little indie projects. Let's see. I've covered the daily events. Covered my Dread episode. Talked about my amazing bestie. Talked about the games I was playing. Talked about what I plan to play. What I'm doing. Honestly, I think that's everything. Oh, also, my resident assistant, like in the hallway, like the person in charge of our hallway, she put in the thing. She was like, here are days and times for our floor event in the dorm. Please vote which one works best for you. I don't even know what she's talking about, so that was kind of weird. So I won't be voting because I don't even know what she's referring to. But yeah, I think that's about everything. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up here. Sharky, do you have anything that you would like to add for the peoples at home? Okay. Hope you all can understand that, because I refuse to translate. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up here. So as always, if you liked what you're listening to, hit like, leave feedback, comments below, subscribe and turn post notifications to stay up to date on things I post. Follow me on Twitter if you feel so inclined to do so for extra content. Your support means the world to me. So thank you all for listening and or watching, depending on what you view this as. Well, I guess now they're technically videos, but still, your support means the world. Thank you so much. I love you all. And most importantly, I miss my bestie a whole lot. I will be back tomorrow with another ramble. Hopefully the emotions stay on a positive side, like today's did. Originally I didn't think they would be, but then I got to talking about my bestie, and I guess it just like boosted me. Originally I thought this was going to be another depressing one, and I was going to feel horrible. Then I got talking about my bestie, and things just were happy. I should do that more often. Like, actually talk about her instead of just saying that I miss her. Anyway, yeah. So thanks again for listening. I love you all. I miss my bestie, and I'll be back tomorrow with another ramble. Until then, bye.